we're rounding out week 90.
Yeah.
With the video 90?
90.
Well, it's got a T in it.
I know.
90. I don't say 90. It's not Nindy.
It should be.
90.
English is a weird fucking language.
It's 90. Episode 90. We're ending it with the video that we usually end all the weeks on, which is the indie news. But, the indie news is things that you should listen to and look for and watch. And the independent wrestling is things that you should look for and listen to and watch. Because it's important. It's important. So important that I have to give 1.21 give-a-fucks about it to go back in time.
I see what you did there.
And give you some results for something that happened last week for Beyond Wrestling because I wasn't able to get the results in time for this episode exactly a week ago.
Yeah. Tell them about it, Hawk.
Well, we had a double header, 2 shows in one day from Beyond Wrestling. We had, by popular demand, that had Drew Gulak defeated Connor Claxton. Massage Envy went against Milk Chocolate. They won. Massage Envy beat them. John Silver defeated Lio Rush. There was a 4 corners match between Anthony Green, Brick Massoni, Cam Zagami, and Christian Casanova. That went to a no contest because they were interrupted by 4 members of the Crusade for Change. Oh. And it turned into an 8-man tag match, which was won by the Crusade for Change. So they interrupted and then won.
Hey, Teddy Long that shit.
Yeah. We had Ryan Galeone defeat Candice LeRae. EYFBO defeated Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. And in the main event of the first show, we had Joey Janela defeat JT Dunn in a dog collar match.
Yeah. I believe Death Valley Driver off of the apron into a trash can, or onto a trash can.
Yeah.
Gnarly video. Check out Beyond Wrestling on Facebook.
Yeah, and then we had State of the Art, a second show where we had the Hit Squad defeat Team Tremendous. Shinron defeated Smiley. Veda Scott defeated Jordan Grace. Kobe Durst defended the Alpha 1 Zero Gravity Championship against Space Monkey.
That is the weirdest...
Space Monkey?
No, just Kobe Durst right away.
Remember last week when I couldn't remember his name and I just talked about how I hate the name because I'm not a fan of Kobe Bryant or Fred Durst. So that makes me...
Yeah, so you have Kobe Durst, and then he's got this really long named title, and he defended it against Space Monkey.
Yeah, the promotion is Alpha 1, and the championship is the Zero Gravity Championship.
That's just... It's a whole lot of nonsense.
The Zero Gravity Championship, and it's Space Monkey.
He should have won.
Yeah. Sugar Dunkerton defeated Ethan Page.
Hey!
Brian Fury defeated Eddie Edwards. Jonathan Gresham defeated Chris Hero. Evil Uno defeated Pinky Sanchez. Matt Riddle had the open challenge, and it was answered by Speedball Mike Bailey. Matt Riddle won that one, and then in the main event, Donovan Dijak defeated Sami Callihan.
Banana Hands.
Banana Hands Callahan. Banana Hands won.
Yeah.
Go Banana Hands. So those are the results that I unfortunately couldn't give you last week. I apologize again. I hope that doesn't happen often. Somebody at PW Ponderings, get on your Beyond Wrestling shit. That's never happened before. You usually have your Beyond stuff ready for me.
Slack.
Slack. I'm going to slack you across the face for slapping.
For slapping?
Yeah. I'm going to slack him across the face.
Well, with that being said, click to the time that is down in the wrestling ring right now.
Don't be slacking.
For those of you listening to the podcast, it ain't going to help you out very much because I'm about to talk about Ring of Honor. So if you plan on watching this week on Comet, you better click forward now because we're going to talk about it right now.
Spoilers. Spoiler alert.
So we find out right off the bat that the main event is going to be Dalton Castle taking on Christopher Daniels. Dalton Castle... we opened the show with a promo, which is weird for Ring of Honor. It doesn't happen very often. It wasn't like an in-ring promo. It was like a pre-recorded promo. But he's saying that he's got a certain taste that he's going for, and it's the taste of victory. He wants a lot of victories, and that means that tonight he'll have to break Christopher Daniels' heart. Very weird promo from a very weird guy, but we like Dalton Castle. But our first
I like
match,
Dalton Castle a lot.
everybody likes Dalton Castle. We all want to live on Planet Peacock, all right?
You know, if I was on Planet Peacock, I'd probably like live on a yacht or something.
I hear I hear the oceans on Planet Peacock there's a lot of smooth sailing.
Yeah.
And everybody gets fruit baskets.
Mm-hmm.
But our first match of Ring of Honor
Complimentary.
is the finals of the Top Prospect Tournament.
Woo!
Lio Rush taking on Brian Fury. These two absolutely deserve to go to the finals.
Hey, how about that? They were on the results that I just gave out for last week's shows.
Yes, they were. Yeah, just fantastic work from both of these guys. Lio Rush, I can't believe Lio Rush has only been wrestling for a year. He made his professional debut last year.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. He was barely coming up from the onto like the CZW shows when I first heard about him.
No, the guy is fantastic. And Brian Fury, who's been wrestling since '99, has so much experience. These two,
knowing how long that he had been wrestling, I was kind of surprised to see him show up in the Top Prospect Tournament.
Yeah, no,
because a lot of times that's like young up and coming guys.
Yeah,
but he's been going for like 15 years.
Yeah,
you know, so
yeah, no,
anybody can be a top prospect, I guess.
No, and both of these guys, I hope they continue to show up in Ring of Honor because seeing either of these guys go against anybody on the roster would be a fantastic match. But ultimately, even though he tried to cheat, Brian Fury would not be successful. And the 2016 Top Prospect Tournament winner is Lio Rush. Brian Fury was going for a clothesline. Lio Rush caught him into the Spanish Fly and picked up the win.
I think Lio Rush might be the smallest Top Prospect winner we've had.
Yes, because the only one close to him is Matt Taven.
Yeah. And
Matt Taven's not a big dude, but he's bigger than Lio Rush. We also find out that next week we're going to have a tag team gauntlet. We know that the Addiction, the Motor City Machine Guns, the Young Bucks, Red Dragon, possibly the Briscoes are all going to be... I don't know all of the teams involved.
Gauntlets are awesome, and they're doubly awesome when they're tag teams.
Yeah, but we had... there was a promo from Red Dragon, and there was a promo from the Bucks kind of just pushing it onto people like, hey, next week we got a tag team gauntlet. So we'll have those results next week. Up next, we had Moose taking on a big man named Congo. No, not Congo Kong. This was a much shorter, much wider little white dude.
I don't know about much wider.
He's...
Congo Kong's also wide.
Okay, if you've seen Batman Returns, he's like Danny DeVito's Penguin. Like, he just looks like someone took a giant
Let's just say right now,
just smashed it into the dude.
If you're in like independent wrestling and you have the phrase Congo anywhere in your name, you're wide as fuck.
Yeah.
You're wide.
Wide. WIDE.
Wide
AF.
Wide
this guy moved way faster than I expected him to.
Yeah.
So it made the match much more entertaining. Moose did end up picking up the win with a spear. He did not have Stokely Hathaway in his corner. Stokely Hathaway said that he wanted Moose to try and win a match on his own.
Well, I don't think Moose has to try very hard at that.
No, not at all. We found out that before the show started, Mike P-Dog Posey, we've seen him on Ring of Honor before.
Yeah, that guy.
He was out.
Gangsta
He was out there with his whole crew.
From refs to riches.
And he called out Cheeseburger. Him and Cheeseburger ended up having a match. Cheeseburger would go on a palm strike frenzy, taking out everyone, including one of the ladies who looks like even more of a dude than Chyna did. She ended up getting a palm strike as well, and then he finished off Mike Posey with one as well. Cheeseburger picking up the win. And this was all to set up
Cheeseburger.
This was all to set up for the fact in 2 weeks, because they're like, oh yeah, Cheeseburger, he did great in Japan, and now he's doing awesome on the roster. By the way, in 2 weeks we're doing the War of the Worlds, Ring of Honor versus New Japan. I don't know why this was the setup to talk about that, but you know
hey, who knows?
You know, Cheeseburger and Mike Posey totally reminds me that we're going to see Kushida and Tomohiro Ishii and Kazuchika Okada and, you know, all those fun guys.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. We were supposed to have Adam Page versus Cedric Alexander, but that didn't happen because BJ Whitmer would attack Adam Page from behind. He's
BJ can go suck a dick.
He's beating up Adam Page, and he's like, "Hey Cedric, you want to join me?" And Cedric's like, "I'd love to." And they both beat down Adam Page. Jonathan Gresham ends up making the save. I thought they were going to Trippy Long this shit into a tag team match, but they didn't.
So I got a question. Where is Colby Corino sitting in this whole...
He is not there. He hasn't shown up since his Top Prospect tournament match against Punisher Martinez. He hasn't showed up on TV.
Yeah, I was just...
I think what the story is, BJ beat the shit out of him after he got beat up by Punisher Martinez, so they're keeping him off TV for a while.
Yeah, see, I was trying to figure, like, where is Colby Corino going to side in the split of Page and BJ?
I don't know, because him and Adam Page were never really cool.
But then you can...
And now BJ's being a dick to both of them.
Yeah, and so, you never know where it's going to go off to. But I was thinking, maybe he was thinking that he could recruit a new member of the Decade to replace Page. And,
maybe.
Cedric Alexander. He's been around for a while.
Yeah. Alright, then we go to our main event where Silas Young was asked by Christopher Daniels to be at commentary, because apparently Christopher Daniels likes Silas's commentary. He told both Mr. Wrestling 3 and Kevin Kelly that he has no issues with Dalton Castle anymore. All the stuff that is stemming from, what happened with the boys is all completely done. So he's out there specifically because he was asked. What?
He's lying through his bristles.
Oh, we're talking about his mustache?
Yeah. It was like when somebody's lying through their teeth.
Okay. So the best part of this match between Dalton Castle...
Jeff Foxworthy on steroids.
between Dalton Castle and Christopher Daniels is that Dalton Castle, if you know the character Dalton Castle, he does the weird motions where he'll arch his back and put his hands on his hips, and he'll bend back real far, and so Christopher Daniels tried to do this back to him, and he got him a couple times, but there was one time where Dalton Castle bent back so far that Christopher Daniels fell over trying to mock it. And so it allowed Dalton Castle to get a slight advantage. But...
mind games, bro.
Daniels did end up picking up the win. He had Kazarian in his corner, of course. And there was a spot where Kazarian tried to hand Daniels a wrench. He handed him the wrench and he was about to hit Dalton Castle with it. It got taken away by one of the boys. And then Christopher Daniels hit the boys, and Kazarian did it too, and it pissed off Dalton Castle, which distracted him. He ended up trying to go for Bangarang, and while he was against the ropes, Kazarian grabbed Dalton Castle's leg, which bent him over, allowing Christopher Daniels to hit the Angel's Wings and pick up the win. And then Dalton Castle got berated by Silas Young, saying, "Oh, you suck. You're still terrible. You'll never win. Blah blah blah." And so Dalton Castle was like, "You know what? I keep trying to convince myself that you and me are done. That there's no more problems. But I need to finish this. We need to finish this. And I don't want a match. I want to fight. I want a fight without honor."
Yay.
So somewhere down the line, don't know when it's going to happen, we are getting Silas Young versus Dalton Castle in a fight without honor. And that was it for Ring of Honor this week. We're going to move it back over to Kevin Hawk because he has AIW's Fullest House.
JK, I mean not JK because I do still have that, but guess what, guys? I am surprising you because I left something out last week to see if you guys were all paying attention.
I wasn't.
I know. Because there was an awesome other show that happened this weekend. Because where do all the awesome shows happen these days? Down in Reseda, California. Because here's a little extra bonus results that I didn't advertise because we had All-Star Weekend 12.
Ah, shit, PWG.
Do it. That's right. We had All-Star Weekend 12, and it started on the 4th. We had Chuck Taylor defeat Trevor Lee. Chris Hero defeated Evil Uno. Trent defeated Drew Galloway. Roderick Strong defeated Mark Andrews. Kyle O'Reilly defeated Marty Scurll. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Adam Cole after some botched interference by Roderick Strong.
Not bad,
Ooh, yeah. And then the Young Bucks successfully defended the Tag Team Championships against Matt Sydal and Ricochet.
Nice.
And then we had AIW's Fullest House on the 5th. That was Saturday. Fullest House, we hope. Facade won the Four Corners match between him, Brett Banks, Cloudy, and Kobe Durst. Veda Scott defeated Brittany Blake. We had Weird World defeat the FBI in the tag match. Kaplan defeated Brian Carson. Ethan Page successfully defended the Absolute Championship against Space Monkey.
Space Monkey's not winning any titles.
Yeah, no. Alex Daniels won the 6-way scramble match. That was the AIW Wrestling Academy Student Showcase. Right. He won that. Jerry successfully defended the Intense Championship against Eddie Kingston. Good for you, Jerry. I'm actually a bit surprised.
Only slightly.
And then in what I would slate would be a double main event. Ooh. Tim Donst would defeat Homicide, which I think this weekend marks Homicide's anniversary in wrestling, somewhere
really
high teens.
And this was his debut in AIW, correct?
Yes.
Nice.
And then Rex Brody would defeat Rockstar Spud. But then after that, if you had time and private jet, you could probably make it in time to recede to California for All-Star Weekend Night 2, which, by the way, All-Star Weekend Night 2, there was a special guest in the audience. We're talking none other than the former UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion, Rowdy Ronda Rousey, was in attendance.
We were in the same crowd as her last year.
While Holly Holm, who defeated her for the Bantamweight title, was defending the championship against Miesha Tate at UFC.
And Miesha Tate is now the UFC
Women's Bantamweight Champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's actually a picture, we'll put it up here if we can get it, of Ronda Rousey in the background. You see Trent is about to hit Trevor Lee in the crowd, and you see in the background that Ronda Rousey is looking at her phone because it's probably blowing up at this point that someone that she's beaten on 2 separate occasions has just won the Bantamweight Championship. So, good for everybody involved in that.
And so Ronda Rousey should be getting her title back very, very soon.
Probably. All right. But what happened on All-Star Weekend Night?
I don't know. You have the results. Tell us.
Chuck Taylor defeated Marty Scurll.
Woohoo!
Mark Andrews defeated Evil Uno. Trevor Lee defeated Drew Galloway. Ricochet and Matt Sydal defeated Team Death by Elbow. Trent defeated Adam Cole.
Bye-bye.
The Young Bucks successfully defended the Tag Team Championships against Red Dragon.
Oh.
And in the main event, via submission, Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Roderick Strong to become the new PWG Heavyweight Champion.
Nice! Zack Sabre Jr. He won Bola, now he's the champion?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
I mean, that's what Bola gets you your title match. That's your prize for winning Bola.
I forgot that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats. Very cool.
Woo!
I like surprise results. That's fun.
I know, right?
It's good.
Gotta freaking change things up every now and again.
Yeah.
Had missing results last week, surprise results this week.
Well, now it's time for some news. And that was it for news. Now it's time for some upcoming shows. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And click a lot of links, because guess what? There's a lot of links down below. There's links. There's links to all of our stuff. We've got all of our social medias.
They're in every single video we do.
The podcast that you can find on SoundCloud.
Yes. And for those of you listening to the podcast all of those same links are in the description of your podcast.
And one for this video on YouTube.
Exactly.
The video that you're listening to, which is not a video, it's technically a podcast then.
But the most important links are the ones at the top of the description thing below what we're talking about in the show, because those are the links to the people we are talking about on a regular basis.
Yeah, we got the websites for like AIW and AAW and
Chikara
Pro Wrestling Guerilla and CZW and the World Wrestling Network Live,
and a lot more. And we want to add more, because if you comment on the podcast, if you comment on the YouTube video,
below us,
if you message us on Facebook, if you email us at fanstalkwrestling@gmail.com, if you email him at Kevin_Hawk636@hotmail.com.
Did he say if you tweet at us?
If you tweet at us, if you comment on Indie Guy and Instagram, whatever you want to do, if you have a promotion that is your favorite, is one that you want to hear on a regular basis, if you want to see that promotion added to the links below, send us some websites, send us some Facebook, send us some YouTube videos,
links.
All kinds of stuff, so we know what you want to hear about.
And you'll get a shout out for doing it, and if you comment within the next 20 minutes, you'll also
It doesn't work that way.
Oh.
It doesn't work that way.
No?
It'd be cool, but it doesn't work that way. We're not live. But yeah, no, we want to add more links, so let us know what you want us to talk about.
Like Link from Rhett and Link, and Link from Legend of Zelda, and Sausage Links.
But as always, be sure to check out that playlist, because we've got.
Oh, that's not the links.
We got some other videos up there. We got the Raw review, which is real fun.
Hey.
We had midweek wrap up, SmackDown rundown, and of course this indie news. And coming up next week on episode 91, we will possibly have a Roadblock predictions and possibly a Roadblock review video on top of all of our usual reviews. And we will have Thomas's top 5 for the month of February.
Hey, we like them top 5 videos.
So be sure to check us out next week. That's what that subscribe button's for, so you always know when we got videos. Thanks for watching.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, shit.
There's a potential that a WWE Hall of Famer could be making an appearance on Raw in the near future.
Thanks for watching. And we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Peace out, bitches.
And fuck Alex Riley.
Hell to the yeah. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.